Hey everyone, ready for a deep dive? We're jumping into AI again. But this time, it's mixing with the world of marketing.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, AI is everywhere, right?
It is.
But this time we're looking at how it's shaking up marketing, specifically for solar. You know, that whole industry with like kind of pushy salespeople and those cheesy ads.
Right, right.
Well, this company, Prestige Growth Agency, claims they figured out how to use AI to sell solar. Like, way better.
Okay.
So we're diving into their whole pitch, their document on it, and we're going to see if this is the future of solar sales or
Or just hype.
exactly just a bunch of buzzwords.
Yeah.
So Prestige, they're making some bold claims. They say they can revolutionize solar marketing with AI. Like everything from finding leads to those ads you see online, even writing the marketing stuff.
It's certainly an interesting time for this. I mean, the solar market is booming, but it's also really competitive. So if they've actually found a way to, use AI to get a real advantage, yeah, it'd be a game changer.
That's what they're saying. They're talking about AI sales agents, which honestly sounds a little,
A little creepy.
yeah, like robots calling me during dinner trying to sell me solar panels.
Well, not quite robots, but the idea is that AI would handle those first conversations with potential customers. Think of it like advanced chatbots
Oh, okay.
powered by NLP, natural language processing.
Okay. So instead of a human, going through all those leads, this AI is figuring out who's actually interested, answering questions, maybe even like setting appointments.
Yeah, exactly. And to personalize those interactions, they're probably using something called machine learning algorithms.
Okay, so what does that even mean?
So they basically feed the AI information from successful sales calls, right? Like what questions lead to someone actually buying, what time of day gets the most appointments booked, that kind of thing. And then the AI learns from that data how to, repeat those patterns.
So it's not just automating things, but it's actually using AI to get better at selling based on like real info.
Precisely. And that's where the real potential of AI in marketing is. It's not really about replacing people. It's about giving them superpowers, like being able to analyze massive amounts of data and finding those little things that humans might miss.
That makes sense. Okay, I'm starting to see how this could work.
Yeah.
But what about the whole AI writing thing? Like, can it actually write blog posts, website copy, stuff that people actually want to read? I've seen some AI-generated content, and it's,
It can be a little rough.
yeah.
You're right. It's had kind of a bumpy start, but the technology is getting better really quickly. There are AI models now that are trained specifically on marketing copy, and honestly, some of it is surprisingly good.
Really?
Yeah.
So how does that even work? Does it, like, steal content from other websites, or?
No, it's not about plagiarism. These models are trained on a ton of text and code. They learn how language works,
Yeah.
grammar, tone, even the kind of emotional stuff that gets people to respond.
So it can figure out what makes a good sales pitch.
Yeah.
That's both impressive and a little scary.
It is impressive, and it does bring up some, ethical questions about how this kind of technology could be used. But just from a purely technical standpoint, it's the potential is definitely there.
Okay, so before we go too far down that road,
Mm.
we've got AI sales agents, AI copywriting.
Mhm.
What else? What other AI tricks does Prestige have?
Well, they also say they can use AI to basically dominate online ads.
Okay.
And this is actually where AI can be really effective. Imagine an AI that figures out your target audience, writes the ad copy, and then constantly watches and changes your bids across, Google, Facebook, Instagram, all in real time.
Hold on, in real time. So while I'm like scrolling through my feed, some AI is deciding what ads to show me based on like my browsing history and stuff.
Pretty much, yeah. It's about using all that data to show the right people the right message at the right time. And that level of precision, that personalization,
It's valuable.
it's incredibly valuable in advertising, yeah.
I mean, it's kind of cool, but also kind of creepy. Like, I know companies are already tracking everything we do online, but now an AI is using it to, like, figure out how to sell me stuff. That's next level.
It is, and it's the future of advertising, whether we like it or not. But to be fair to Prestige, they're not doing anything that other companies aren't already doing. They're just, saying, hey, we can do this specifically for solar companies.
Right, right. Okay, so AI sales agents, AI copywriters, AI ad managers. Is there anything this AI can't do?
Well, they also say their AI can handle, get this, customer support. Yeah, and it makes sense when you think about it. Solar, it can be complicated, right? People have a lot of questions. So instead of having them wait on hold forever, an AI could be there, like, instantly 24/7 to answer those
As
questions.
those chatbot things a lot of websites have now.
Exactly. But Prestige is saying their AI customer support is like way more advanced. Think answering really complicated questions, troubleshooting problems, maybe even helping people figure out those confusing solar incentives and rebates and stuff.
Okay, that'd be pretty impressive. But doesn't it all come down to how good the AI actually is? Like, I've seen chatbots that are useless, full of glitches, and those canned responses. That's more frustrating than helpful.
100%. And that's the thing you have to watch out for with any of this AI stuff. It's not enough to just slap an AI label on something and call it a day. You got to look deeper, figure out how it really works, and most importantly, does it actually do what they say it does?
So, what should people be looking for? How can you tell if a company like Prestige is legit or just hyping things up?
Great question. First things first, I want to see proof. They make a lot of big claims, but do they have the data to back it up? Are there actual solar companies out there using this and seeing success?
Right.
Case studies, testimonials, even just plain numbers. Show me the results.
Yeah, anyone can make a fancy website and say they're doing amazing things, but real results.
Speak for themselves.
Exactly.
And beyond the data, I want to know about their process. How do they, customize their AI for each solar company? What kind of training data are they using? How do they make sure the AI is actually learning and improving?
Good points. It sounds like using AI successfully is more than just like flipping a switch.
It's not plug and play, that's for sure.
It's like a whole thing, planning it out, watching it, tweaking it as you go.
Absolutely. And it also needs someone who really knows the solar industry because it has its own unique challenges and stuff that a one-size-fits-all AI solution probably wouldn't handle very well.
Right. It's not just about the tech itself. It's how you use it, how you make it work with what your company's already doing.
Exactly. And that's where a good partner, someone you trust with that deep knowledge, can make a huge difference.
Which is interesting because Prestige talks a lot about partnership and trust in their whole pitch. Like they're not just selling some software, but a whole way of thinking about AI and marketing.
That's smart because to really make AI work, you got to be ready to change how you think about things. Companies need to be open to making decisions based on data, experimenting a little, and always trying to get better, constantly improving.
So it's not just about letting the AI do its thing and hoping for the best.
Not at all. In fact, I'd argue that human oversight is even more important with AI. You need someone there to ask the right questions, look at the data and understand it, and make sure the AI is, on the right track.
It's like having a co-pilot, not an autopilot.
Perfect analogy. The best AI solutions don't replace human judgment. They just make it better. They give us the tools, the information to make smarter choices, but humans are still ultimately in control.
Okay, so we've talked about the good stuff, the potential benefits of what Prestige is offering. But let's be real. There's got to be some downsides, right? What could go wrong?
Of course, of course. One big one is data privacy. Prestige's AI needs a ton of data about potential customers to work. So how do they make sure all that information is used responsibly, ethically?
Right, that's a big one these days. People are already kind of freaked out about how much data companies have on them. If a solar company starts using AI to target them with these super personalized ads,
It could backfire.
hey, big time, yeah,
Absolutely.
if it's not done carefully.
Right. And then, on top of privacy, there's the risk of bias.
Oh,
AI algorithms, they're only as good as the data they learn from. So if that data is messed up, incomplete, the AI could actually make things worse. It could lead to, discriminatory outcomes, which is a real problem.
yeah, and we've seen that happen with other AI stuff. We have to remember that AI can make the same mistakes humans make,
Right.
and it can be even worse if we're not careful because it can amplify those biases.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's why it's so important to talk about these things, the ethical side of AI. As this technology gets more powerful and more common, we have to make sure it's used for good.
Well said. So it seems like Prestige's AI approach could really shake up solar marketing, but it's not a sure thing. What are some key takeaways for our listeners, especially if they're thinking about this for their own businesses?
All right.
I think the big takeaway is AI in marketing, it's not some far off thing. It's happening now.
Right.
And like anything powerful, it can be good or bad.
Exactly. It's not about just jumping on every new AI thing that pops up.
Right.
You have to be smart about it.
Yeah.
Ask questions.
Right.
Make sure it fits with, your goals and what you believe in.
Okay, so how do people do that? Like say you're a solar company and this Prestige thing sounds kind of interesting. What should you be thinking about before you go all in?
Don't be afraid to ask for proof. Ask to see examples, talk to other companies who are using this kind of tech, and really look at the data.
Yeah.
Don't be fooled by fancy words and promises, you know?
Right. It's like buying a used car, right? You wouldn't just take the seller's word for it.
Yeah.
You'd want to, like, get a mechanic to look at it, right?
Exactly.
Kick the tires a little bit.
100%. And ask those detailed questions.
Yeah.
How does the AI learn? What data does it use? Is my data, my customer's data safe? A good company will be upfront about all of that.
It's probably a good idea to, like,
Yeah.
start small, right?
Yes.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Again.
Don't hand over your whole marketing budget to some AI right away.
Exactly. Dip your toes in, experiment a bit, see what works.
Right.
It's a learning curve, for sure.
So it's finding that sweet spot,
Yeah.
using the power of AI, but keeping humans in charge and making sure everything's, ethical.
100%. It's going to be a mix of human creativity and AI.
Right. Well, this has been super interesting. We've talked about the cool stuff AI can do for marketing, but also the things to watch out for. It's a whole new world out there, and the more we know,
Better.
the better. Exactly.
Knowledge is power, right?
Right.
Especially with something as fast-moving as AI.
Well, thanks for joining us, everyone, and we'll catch you next time for another deep dive.